Alright, so this is another venting with boobie. I'm gonna give y'all the pickup of where I left off at, right? I got detained, my baby moms got arrested. Alright, but I'm gonna give you all the steps that led to that particular point. Now, the last thing I left you off with was I'm trying to get in contact with my baby moms. I'm at McDonald's right now. Pertaining to the child support, because she was ordered to pay me back the child support that she was still collecting. Because now the roles are reversed. And she's supposed to pay me child support. When I'm texting her, I put that same thing on my story. I don't speak English. This is the wrong number. I call. Shut the fuck up, nigger. I'm gonna kill you. Hang up. Now, mind you, this is my baby mom's phone that I'm calling that's with my child. I don't know what's going on. So now I'm concerned. I'm like, hey, my daughter's nonverbal. I know about this hotel. This hotel is known for prostitution, immigration, drugs, everything that can go wrong with a hotel, you name it, this is the hotel for it, right? It's on Yarborough in here in El Paso. I said, okay, cool. I call my job. I tell them the situation. They're like, yo, go take care of what you got to take care of. Family comes first. Just don't go in uniform. Make sure your firearm is away, because we don't want to make the matters worse than what it is. This is a personal matter. This is not a job matter. This is not whatever it is. I get to the hotel. Now, that's when I made the other video about everything that led me up to that point. I get to the receptionist desk. I'm like, hey, look, you know, I'm trying to be cool about it. So I'm trying to play it off like I got diapers. I just want information to make sure I check on my daughter to make sure she's okay. Because I got this crazy ass phone call with this crazy ass guy, and I can't reach my baby moms. So I'll go, hey, look, I'm just trying to drop off diapers to my daughter. I want to make sure she's okay. So go, you know, okay, cool. Who are you looking for? I'm looking for Graciela Pastrana. Oh, we don't have a Graciela Pastrana here. There's no Graciela Pastrana. I said, okay, cool. I don't want to have to make things worse. Here's really what's going on. And I don't want to have to call PD to bring him down here so it escalates the circumstances even more. No, we don't want you to do that. That same receptionist somehow managed to find Gracie's number personally, right? Cool. That was my first red flag. Gracie comes down. Now, I'm trying to talk to her before the other recordings and stuff like that, before I actually press record. Thank God I did press record. I'm like, who's that guy that's threatening me and who's racist? Where's my daughter? You're coming downstairs without my daughter. Like, what the fuck is going on? No, you called the wrong number. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to show her the log. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Cool. Whatever. Now I just want to know what room number she's at, because I'll have to assess the situation for myself, because my daughter, I can't leave her in those circumstances, and you came downstairs without my daughter. So that would lead me to imply either A, she's in the room by herself and you came down here to have this conversation with me, or B, you have left her in the room with the guy who just threatened to kill me and call me a nigger. Right? But we're somehow sidetracking and talking about everything else. It's a frustrating talk. I'm not getting anywhere. I said, fine. I'm going to just have to call PD. We're just going to have to make these matters worse than what they are. I was trying to just keep this at a lower level. Right? I call my job. I let them know what's going on. I'm on the phone with my job. Simultaneously, while I'm on the phone with my job, I'm still trying to assess what's going on and figure out where she's at. So I'm on the phone with my job and they're back in the parking lot. I'm hoping after I get off the phone I can call PD, do what I gotta do and shit like that, and see what's going on. PD rolls up on me. She already called the police. She already called the police first. She made some wild accusation, and now I'm guilty until proven innocent, right? So now PD gets out the car. I'm in my car. They come out, hand on gun, put your hands up, get me out the car, put me in handcuffs, and search the shit out of me, right? Like, the guy, the officer, like, damn near jerked me off, like, threw my pants, grabbed my dick and my balls, and started shaking, right? Cool. Hola, mami. Café?
Mother?
Coffee with 6 and 6?
It was just a coffee?
Yep, with 6 and 6. Right. So I'm trying to de-escalate the situation. I'm like, let's just sit down, let's have a conversation. I don't know what's going on. Y'all came in kind of hot, right? So just by the way the officers reacted to that situation, I can already tell there was some crazy accusations being made, right? Because I get it. You know, if there's like an active shooter, you're not trying to sit there and have conversations. You're trying to just make sure the threat is neutralized. Apparently, I'm the threat. Guilty until proven innocent. Anytime a woman calls the police, she's the victim. And anytime a man calls the police or whatever, he's the perpetrator. I get it, right? Sits me down. It doesn't seem like the officer's really trying to hear my side of the story at first. Seems like his mind is already made, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just stay calm, stay collect, try to be as rational as possible. Don't give the appearance that I'm a threat in any type of manner, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm already out of uniform. My uniform is still on the seat. You know, I'm like, all right, they see that my uniform is there. I give them my ID. Like, everything shouldn't have been that dramatic at first. Thank you. Appreciate it. Cool. Have a good one. Whatever. So they want to do their own investigation to assess the circumstances of why they was called there in the first place. Now, I can already know, you know, what level of fuckery was said by the way the officers reacted to that situation, because the baby moms has made false accusations before, putting me in compromising positions, not only with my job, but in life in general, because she lies a lot about nothing and everything at the same time. So I don't know what version of the story she actually gave, but clearly, the officers now have to do their investigation. They go, okay, you're gonna be in handcuffs. We're gonna go over there. We're gonna talk to her, and we're gonna see what's going on. They talk to her. They come back. They take me out of the handcuffs. They go back. They go talk to her. I give them the recording. I'm like, hey, look, we just had a conversation. They're finally able to receive what I've been trying to say since our first encounter. Like, I have a recording. This is what the information is. You can figure it out yourself, and you can do your own investigation. So they go over there. I don't know what happened between. I don't even know what happened. They come back. Well, you know, you're gonna get your daughter. She's being arrested right now, and you know, next time you should have the court orders. They apologized for how they started off the whole interaction and the engagement at first, and ultimately it came out to be a positive result. Now, here's what I have an issue with a lot of the time, and I think this is where society is fucked up, right? Before any benefit of the doubt is given to a man, he is guilty until proven innocent. But the woman is always innocent until proven guilty. Right? So without the investigation, without any words or collecting any type of credible evidence up front at first, I'm already guilty. Black man. And I'm granted to a whole lot of these things and circumstances like this where I was already treated in a fashion before that fashion was even credible or even credible at all. Countless of times. And I get the fact that, hey, look, if there's an immediate threat, you deal with that threat, but there also is some type of discretion along with situational awareness, because after you already assess that I'm not a threat, you know, I felt like it could have just de-escalated before you went to go see the woman's side, because I really don't see why that level had to be that way. Me personally. But, you know, hey, look, I'm trying to go with the flow. You know, at this point, me going against the grain at this point in this compromising position is not going to be conclusive to anything that would be beneficial for me in the long run. Because all I have to do is be perceived as a threat, and it can escalate. I'm already perceived as a threat as a black male in El Paso. I'm already wrong. Right? And then whatever accusation she made just added to the disadvantage I was already in that position. And I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking, hey, look, you know, number one, I'm not trying to lose or put myself in a situation worse than what it needs to be. Number two, I'm just trying to find a resolve to all of this. Number three, my daughter, you know, is in the middle of all of this. And number four, I'm just trying to be calm. I'm a very calm and rational person when it comes to things like this because I've been through this so much. It's sad that I had to get to this point. So eventually, you know, she's innocent until proven guilty. She proved herself guilty. I don't know what she said, but I don't know what she did, but it was enough because I can't even get information out of it. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Well, can't tell you that. All right, you know, here's the number for the police report, I guess. So long story short, she's in custody. She's probably going to be deported because she doesn't have any paperwork. I'm going to have to go back to court, right? Shit like this. To update the orders from visitation on her side to no visitation or supervised if she gets out of jail, if she doesn't get deported, and shit like that. I'll have to find a babysitter to work longer hours because the baby mom's was, you know, holding her for eight hours. So there's going to be an additional 8 hours somebody's going to have to get paid for. The sad part is none of this had to get to this point. It's like women genuinely just weaponize systems against men. Weaponized systems. Her approach was, I've lost control and I've lost power and leverage. So how can I get power, leverage, and control back? I'm going to call the police. I'm going to make a wild accusation. I'm going to get the father of my child locked up. So therefore, I could justify still collecting child support because my circumstances, I cannot deal with the accountability of the circumstances. So I'm just going to get his life fucked up so I can still collect child support so I don't have to work a job. That I don't care about my daughter at all and putting her father in this type of predicament or putting myself in this type of predicament. That's the crazy part. You know, the crazy part is I want my daughter to have a relationship with her moms. I do. You know, I didn't have a mom's growing up. And the closest figure I had to a mom's was my aunt. And that was toxic. But I've never had that. I didn't want to deprive my daughter from that. That's why I hesitated so long before, you know, things got to this point. Because my daughter is going to be affected by this. You know, it's a constant reminder when you're home with your daughter and your daughter's like, Mom, Mom, Mom. And she's already nonverbal, so things like that, if she can say that, you know, that has an effect. You know, it's just sad. It's sad. It's sad that women, or just her in general, would destroy themselves to be vindictful. It's literally like trying to kill somebody with a two-sided sword. While you're trying to stab them, you're cutting yourself at the same time. But you're cutting yourself a whole lot deeper than you're hurting that other person. And by hurting yourself, you hurt your child. Like, I don't understand, like, why it had to escalate to that point. That's why I feel like she has a mental health issue. Because our whole interaction from beginning to end was how many different ways she can cause me conflict in life. You know, how many different ways can she manipulate the systems to capitalize off of? How many different ways? And women do this a lot with court systems. They cry, they lie, manipulate court systems that favor them in the first place. They'll sit there and abuse the systems and use that against the men to capitalize off of that, whether it's financially or in any other aspect. And then complain when the man doesn't want to deal with them no more. And then that man's a deadbeat after you called the police on him multiple times, after you drag him to fucking court. And then now when there's not another man to step up to take care of the responsibility of the father, that you kept the responsibility from the father of having, you complain about it. You know, this is crazy. You could have cost me my life. You know, not even just in a physical sense. You know, if I would have moved the wrong way before they did any investigation, gun, I could have got shot. You know, things like this can happen. You know, it's crazy that it has to get to that point. Or I could have just sit there and the conversation could have took a turn for the worse. I would have lost my job. I would have lost my career. I would have lost the career of a pending job another federal job. I could have lost that too. I could have lost my education. I could have lost child custody. Just because somebody wanted to be so vindictive. Somebody was more worried about how they felt about a situation, avoiding accountability because she doesn't want to work a job. Child support is like, she feels like she's entitled to it somehow. All of this is for money. And a lot of women do a lot of the things they do for control, money, and ego. Us men in this type of situations, this doesn't really happen to women. I'm happy that, number one, it didn't go any further than what it is. Number two, the officers were able to do their own investigation and figure out who the culprit was. Number three, I didn't have to lose everything I've worked so hard for, especially my life at that. Number four, my daughter's all right. That's number one. My daughter's all right. But it's sad that I had to escalate this far. When do women stop abusing systems? I'm scared of women. This is why I'm scared of women. This is why I don't deal with women the way I used to deal with women. It's like women are guilty until proven innocent now because I have to suffer that result. I just experienced it again now. This is my trauma when it comes to women. And majority, there's more women like this than there's women who are not. It's crazy because if I would have made that same phone call and said, hey, look, whatever the fuck she said, they would have, number one, never took it as seriously as they took it with me. Number two, it would have never been treated in the same fashion. It wouldn't, because the woman is a victim. She needs to be saved from a man. The woman is always innocent until proven guilty. And I was guilty until proven innocent. Before they even asked my name, I already got hands on guns. I'm already put in handcuffs. I'm already looked at in a negative light and dealt with in an aggression. But would they deal with a woman the same fashion? I don't think so. I know not. It's sad. This is why I do these podcasts. I do these podcasts. I'm living example today. Like, this is why I do these podcasts. Because other men go through the same thing I'm going through, but worse. You think I got it bad. Shit. There's men who got it worse. And it's sad. Men should not have to fight to be fathers. We shouldn't have to fight against the court systems. We shouldn't have to be guilty until proven innocent. Women should not have power in court systems. They abuse it. Women with power, abusive. But let's see how this all plays out. She locked up now, so shit. Hola, Mexico. Venting a boobie.